Hey, what up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome to a new episode of The Road to Glory. This is episode number 83. Now, I think a bunch of you missed the last couple of episodes, so if you do want to go ahead and catch up, check them out. I'll leave a card in the top corner. You guys can go ahead and catch up on The Road to Glory and then come back to this point right here where we don't currently have a full squad. We brought Bobby Firmino back in. In the last episode, I did test out and buy and sell a Kevin De Bruyne. He just wasn't quite right for the amount of coins that he was going to set us back. And well, as you can see, things have started to sell now. Mahrez sold, Walker sold, De Bruyne is up on the market and hopefully will sell. But I then went out and bought myself a Carvajal, an in-form Carvajal, who was extinct at 100,000 coins when I went to buy him. Now, this was on like Thursday afternoon, evening. So, yeah, just, before we get to the Friday weekend league and also the team in the group stage, I wanted to have my team built ready for the weekend league, basically. And as you can see, De Bruyne sells right there, and we're up to 500,000 coins plus a 100,000 coin right back that we've got in the new 86 rated Carvajal. So, Bale is the player that I wanted to go out and buy, and I've done that. 389,000 coins paid. And like I said, this was on Thursday before Team of the Group stage had even been like presented on screen, showing you the Bale, the Messi, and the Griezmann, was it? Maybe I can't quite remember. Oh no, it was Neymar, of course. When we had that splash screen on the front of FUT. So it actually turns out that buying Bale was not a bad shout because he's going to be out of packs for the week. It might mean that maybe he goes up in price quite a bit. However, if I really like him, I'll probably stick around and keep him. So this is how the team will line up in game, and it's basically how it would have been before, but instead of Mahrez, it's now Bale. And I think a lot of people were expecting Mahrez to also get in Team of the Group stage. Now that he hasn't, maybe his price will have even gone higher still. I don't know. So we would likely have made profit off of either Mahrez, if we kept him for a few more days, or if we, if we keep Bale and see what happens to his price over the next week, I could imagine him going up slightly as well. So, I mean, that's just general trend of the market, seems to be going up. However, once Team of the Group stage got announced, I did notice that a lot of the top tier players did slightly come down. The market seemed to drop by around sort of 5 or 10%, which is quite a chunk, to be fair. Regular Neymar dropped, but then I guess he's probably gone back up again now that his normal is out of packs for the week. I'm not too sure. But guys, I need to set you a like challenge today for our video. If you wouldn't mind hitting me with a thumbs up, showing your support and your love for the Road to Glory, that would be amazing. Thank you so much in advance. I think today, it's Saturday, you're feeling generous on your weekend. Maybe we could go for 1,515 likes. That would be awesome. If you guys can make that happen, that is your challenge for today. Thank you so much in advance. Now, you're seeing what I'm getting from my marquee matchups rewards. And it's not looking too great, I'm not going to lie. Marquee matchups once again this week was a little bit lackluster. It didn't really cost much, but you don't really get much, and you're going to have to be quite lucky to actually get like a board pull or a walkout or actually something good from your packs, because the packs themselves just aren't really crazy. So yeah, that was, I said this, I make a marquee matchups video every week on a Thursday night, and it was just sort of like, yeah, when you can tell a video is not going to do well. I just don't see the hype for marquee matchups at the moment. It's a lot more dulled down than it was last year, to the point where obviously you can't really make money off of it, because the requirements are set in a way which I'm fine with that. I don't really think people need to be making loads and loads of coins off potential marquee matchups, but I do wish it was slightly more expensive, but then offered out way better packs. That would be ideal for us. I like to risk it, but if we can risk it by getting like a 50k pack or a mega pack or a prime pack, something like that would be pretty awesome. So I actually go on into my first weekend league game today, and you can see that we are on our first attack literally from kickoff. Kante plays into Gareth Bale, our new signing, who scores with his very first touch. in 1 minute and 30 something seconds in the weekend league. Damn. Now, I did actually play a couple of games with him the night before the weekend league, just a couple of friendly matches against one of my mates, almost as like a little bit of a warm-up ready for FUT Champs, and just to see what Bale was like. So he's got a couple of extra games on his record, but it was just like a little, I hadn't played FIFA in a day or so, so it was a bit of a refresher. And then coming into the weekend league, I knew a little bit more about Bale. Know that he's actually really good in the air, so we've now got a distribution option from the goalkeeper. I don't have to try and get it up to Aubameyang. I can whip it out wide to Bale, who wins a lot in the air versus the smaller fullbacks, and there are a lot of them in the game. So that's another thing that I now know in my head that I can do in like crisis situations with the goalkeeper. Boot it up to Bale, and I probably will win the header, as you can see right there. I mean, this guy kind of lost the plot. It really did not feel like a weekend league game, I'm not going to lie. It felt like an online single match. Just because right from the very beginning, I scored a couple, and then he sort of lost it. But he had lots of 5-star skillers, and he knew all the tricks on the game. Like, he was doing all sorts against me. But he wasn't like turning that into shots, or he was just like practicing skill moves and stuff. It was very odd, really, really weird. And then obviously he started bringing his goalkeeper out. We get a 5-0 win, a nice easy. It basically felt like a free win in the weekend league to start off with. So yeah, motivation's on a high. We're at 1-0. Let's go on into our next game. And I was a little bit worried when I saw this, because I was like, red Carvajal, red Felipe Anderson. Either this guy gets lucky, or he has enough player picks that he gets quite good ones. So I didn't know really what to expect, and I'm going for these Bale shots because Bale's got really, really good curve and actually unbelievable shooting stats as well. So in theory, he should be better with his left foot than what like Neymar would be with his right foot, because actually Bale's shooting stats are better. But the great thing about Neymar is he's like super agile. He's got the 5-star skills and 5-star weak foot, and I have realised just how much of a game changer he really is on this game, because I'll match him in a little bit. You'll see in one of my future games in this episode that I do match up against Bale, against Neymar, and he's really difficult to handle. So that's what my opponents must go through every game when they come up against me. So as you can see in this match right here, I actually go 2-0 up. A couple of like finesse shot opportunities. The one from Neymar went in, the one from Bale hits the bar, but we get the rebound with Aubameyang. And it's nice now that we have two players that can win aerial battles in Aubameyang and in Bale. Like that's very, very useful, because if you do run down the wing with someone like Neymar down that left-hand side, you know that someone like Alba or Bale is probably both of them are going to be arriving in the box, and if you whip it in with a little bit of loft on it, maybe one of them will win the header as opposed to the defender. So it's another option, like I said, for our game style. Now, again, I feel like this guy kind of gave up, and we get a 4-0 win and a rage quit again, so it's like, well, that's actually our first rage quit, I think, right? But he had no shots against me. I don't know how I got up to 4-0, considering he had way more possession against me, but it's just like, okay, fine. So we're 2-0, and it really doesn't feel like the weekend league right now. This was all played on Friday afternoon into evening, so just before Team of the Group stage came out. So I didn't know what to expect. This guy's got a prime Giggs and a genuinely nice squad. Fabinho plays it into Bale, off to Aubameyang. You can see Neymar there. I guess he was trying to cut me off in case I continued running, but I cut inside and then scored the goal easily on him. That's how agile and stuff Neymar is. You kind of have to risk it with the challenge in case he carries on sprinting. But the good thing about him is that he can like stop like that, turn, change direction, and go another route. Early doors in the second half, we get gifted a penalty, and I'm not going to lie, I did my normal penalty, where at the last moment I change direction and don't shoot left, but it didn't change direction, and we scored by going the way that we were looking the whole time, and his goalkeeper dived the way I wanted to go. So I felt very lucky. It almost felt like the AI took a penalty for me, because it didn't quite go how I expected it to. I don't know, maybe if that sort of relates to a little bit of button delay going on or something, but it didn't really feel like that in game. The games felt beautiful. They felt fine. I was really clicking with this new team of mine. What I would say is that this opponent right here was really, really good on the ball, and I definitely struggled for possession, and I couldn't tackle him. I really couldn't tackle him. Now, luckily for me, he was kind of terrible at finishing, or wasn't quite taking his chances, and it took me until the 88th minute to get another one of those finesse opportunities, but I score it once it comes around, and we get a nice comfortable 3-0 win, although gameplay-wise, I feel like my opponent was almost better than me in that game, and I don't know how it was 3-0. So moving on into a fourth game, I normally show you the first three, but because we had like a rage quit in the second game, and the first game was kind of like a bit of a joke. I don't really know what was going on. I figured I'll put another game in for you today. Hopefully we can get it up to 4-0, but this guy's got a nice team, fairly similar to mine. He actually has Neymar as well, which is someone I don't want to come up against because I know how good he is. But I do score with Aubameyang after 11 or 12 minutes. My number 99 running off in his lovely Juve kit to get an easy goal for us to start things off. Neymar then Lacroquettes plays it to a Bobby Firmino, and I don't know, like I do watch these back and I'm like, dude, you're hitting so many finesse shots that are green timed. But like they're what work, and it's the weekend league. You need to score what works, right? Like, why would I run into the box and try a low driven shot when it's never going to work? Whereas a little finesse here and there is exactly what works in this game. I don't know. I've literally worked it into my game style, so I don't know what will happen if and when the finesse shots do get completely and utterly nerfed. I've seen the patch notes which suggest that the angle, the first time ones that you see me hit a lot, that they would be reduced slightly, but it didn't look like as much as I thought it would be. So maybe even they're still an option after the patch. I don't really know. But with 3-1 up in this game, Neymar did get a goal back for my opponent, forcing a great save out of Courtois there from a power shot from Aubameyang. But like I said, I might as well have hit a finesse shot there with Alba, and it probably would have had more chance of going in than the power shot. So at half-time, in a tough game, we actually are 3-1 up. So I was a little bit annoyed that I did concede, because I know that with someone like, when he's got Mbappe and he's got Neymar in his squad, if he does get through 1 or 2 times, that could be 3-all so goddamn quick. It's unreal. Put the ball out for a corner from that Courtois, and then Bale is there to rise and get me a 4th goal in the 66th minute. So I do sort of reclaim my 3-goal lead. Yeah, I mean, and then he sort of gave up as well. Right towards the end, though. I guess he kind of still played until the end, but then I read him right with my Aubameyang, with his goalkeeper was on the line, and I get a 5th goal, and that is that. So we got like probably one of the craziest and easiest like first 4-0 that we've ever got. So we're up to bronze 1 at the moment. That's where we'll end it right now. I might play some more Friday night games, because if it was going well for me, maybe the level of opponents on a Friday night aren't amazing. I don't really know. But I do plan on playing like during Saturday and Sunday as well. So we'll leave some games for that. Bale's on 5 goals and 2 assists in 6 games, but don't forget a couple of those are in friendly matches against GCII Messi. Neymar is still absolutely killing it. Bobby's still killing it, to be fair. I feel bad about taking him out for an episode, but we're putting him back in again. Don't worry about that. And then Aubameyang, 61 goals and 32 assists in 64 games. I actually want him to get back up to a positive goal-to-game ratio in this weekend league. That would be ideal. But it's so difficult when you got Bobby Firmino who fires him in, and now I've got Neymar and Bale. It's just like, how is Aubameyang supposed to score? Because those two are firing them in from the angles with the finesse shots, right? But that is my first few games in the weekend league, and another massive, massive signing for the club. We've got Bale, we've got Informed Carvajal, who I'm not super impressed with, by the way. He's a little bit small. I do miss Kyle Walker, but what am I going to do? You know, if I'm bringing Bale in, I do need to get him chemistry somehow. And, well, we do still have Kante and Manolas now off chemistry. Maybe I'll look in the future to try and get a Pogba in. If we can ever make another 400,000 or something, that would be brilliant. You know, that would mean that we could get a strong link to Kante and probably have enough chemistry in the midfield. And then I would need to probably change Manolas at some point in time, maybe for a Chiellini or something. We'll see what happens, but at the moment they're both playing absolutely fine on 8 chem. It doesn't bother me one bit. What I do think it does give me is a little bit of an edge on my opponent as I go into a game, because they see that I've got players off chem and they might think like, oh, what's he doing? He doesn't know what he's doing with the chemistry system. And then we just smash them with finesse shots and get the wins. Anyway, guys, do me a favor. Remember to hit that like target today. Subscribe if you're new around here. Have a lovely day, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.